Hi folks, and thanks for joining Psalm for All out here on the front deck. It's a warm and humid day here just east of Ottawa. Perfect opportunity to try a crisp, refreshing rosé. That's what we're going to find out with the Hampton Water, Bon Jovi's first dip into the wine world. Is this going to be justice in the barrel, or is this just going to be bad medicine? To have an objective review, the first thing I think we have to do is we have to separate the musician from the wine. So putting Bon Jovi aside, and whether you're a fan or not, I want to talk about the wine, and that's what I'm going to focus on here. The name comes from his son. The venture is with John Bon Jovi, his son Jesse, and it's a tribute to the Hamptons, where John likes to spend a lot of time drinking wine out there. His son noticed that he was enjoying some rosé and said, "Dad, you're drinking Hampton Water," ha ha ha, and so forth. The name. They got in bed with Gerard Bertrand, a noted French winemaker in the south of France, and here we are a couple of years later with Hampton Water. Now, there's four different varietals that go into this wine. It's primarily Grenache, but there's some Cinsault, there's some Mourvedre, and a little bit of Syrah in there. I was really unable to find the complete breakdown on all those four, but I do know from what I was reading that it's heavy on Grenache, so I'm going to assume it's around 60 or 70% Grenache. The grapes are hand-picked. They're only using the first press juice, and what that means is when they press the grapes to get the juice out, what's called free run, which is the juice that comes off immediately, that's separated out. That's usually the best and most clear. That's what they're using for all four varietals in this wine, so that's a good sign. They're aging this in a little bit of oak, a little bit different. That's not all that commonplace with rosé, but I don't know for how long. From what I'm smelling and tasting, I don't think it's more than maybe a month or two, 3 at the most. It comes from the Languedoc region, so it is the appellation of Languedoc, which unfortunately is a generic appellation. Still good quality, but at $29.95 a bottle here at the LCBO, I would have expected a smaller designation on the bottle, so tell me where exactly the grapes were coming from. On the nose, it's about medium plus intensity. I'm getting strawberry, cherry. I'm actually getting a little bit of watermelon, some apricot, some peach, a little bit of grapefruit, a little floral, a little graphite minerality. It smells nice on the palate. It's about medium intensity. This isn't a big wow factor. Strawberry, cherry, nectarine, some apricot, getting almost a little bit of like a Granny Smith apple, which is interesting for a rosé. Some grapefruit pith, little earth, touch of smoke and some spice. I guess it comes from that barrel, and there's just a little hint of vanilla. It's only about a medium finish at best, so this is a quaffer on a hot day. Overall, what do I think of the wine? Well, at $29.95, it's certainly a good wine for the Bon Jovi fans. If you like Bon Jovi and you want to dive into to rosé he's making, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a little tough to promote this one over others that come in maybe $10 cheaper. I think that may be part of their marketing ploy as well. It's a little more money because of who's behind it. Again, though, you're not going to offend anybody with this. At 13% alcohol, I find it a touch hot, just a little bit hot on the palate. But it's a very dry wine, 3 grams of sugar. This is something you can enjoy on its own. You could have with light salads, you could have with salmon, you could have with chicken. Again, I think the masses of this is going to be the Bon Jovi fans. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad wine at all. And if you're not a rosé drinker and you are a Bon Jovi fan, and this is what's going to get you into drinking rosé, then go for it. You can't really go wrong. It's just that there are other alternatives that are equally good, if not maybe a touch better, in my opinion, for significantly less money. Thanks again for joining Psalm for All. And yeah, definitely not a bitter wine. If you see it out there on the shelves, grab it. Just not one that I would die for. Cheers.